Rising from the Ashes, the extraordinary journey of Mary Hoyle. Welcome to a story that will challenge everything you think you know about resilience, courage, and the indomitable human spirit. Today, we're diving deep into the extraordinary life of Mary Hoyle, a woman whose journey embodies the very essence of rising from the ashes. Mary's story isn't just one of survival, it's a testament to the strength that lies dormant within each of us, waiting to be awakened in the face of life's most daunting challenges. Mary Hoyle isn't just a survivor, she's a beacon of hope, a living testament to the power of perseverance and a force for change in a world that often overlooks the struggles of those battling chronic illness. Her impact on making the world a better place extends far beyond her personal trials, touching the lives of countless individuals who find themselves facing seemingly insurmountable odds. Imagine for a moment being 25 years old, a single mother with two young children, when suddenly your world is turned upside down. This was Mary's reality when her 3-year-old son was diagnosed with Colin Ewing sarcoma cancer, a form of colon cancer so rare in children that her son was the only known case. In that heart-stopping moment, Mary was faced with a decision that no parent should ever have to make, a choice that would alter the course of not just her son's life, but her entire family's existence. The doctors gave Mary just 24 hours to decide on a course of treatment, 24 hours to weigh the risks, to consider the unknowns, to make a choice that could mean life or death for her child. Can you feel the weight of that decision? The clock ticking, each second a reminder of the precious life hanging in the balance. In 1988, chemotherapy for this type of cancer was still in its experimental stages. The potential side effects were largely unknown, and the long-term consequences were a mystery. But Mary, driven by a mother's love and an unwavering determination to save her son, chose to fight. She opted for the chemotherapy, knowing that it was her son's best chance at survival. This decision, made in the crucible of fear and hope, set in motion a journey that would span decades and test the limits of human endurance. The treatment worked, but not without cost. The chemotherapy, while saving her son's life, left permanent damage to his liver, kidneys, bladder, and heart. Mary found herself thrust into a role she never anticipated. Not just a mother, but a full-time caregiver, navigating the complex world of chronic illness while trying to maintain some semblance of normalcy for her family. To focus on her son's care, Mary had to make the heart-wrenching decision to give custody of her 11-month-old daughter to her father. Can you imagine the weight of that choice? The pain of separation balanced against the desperate need to give her son the care he required. This is the kind of decision that tears at the very fabric of a parent's soul. Yet Mary found the strength to do what she believed was best for both of her children. For over 30 years, Mary shouldered this burden alone, a single mother, fighting not just against her son's illness, but against a system that often seemed indifferent to their struggles. She watched her son battle daily, his body forever changed by the treatment that saved his life. And just when it seemed that they had found a rhythm in this new normal, life threw another curveball. At the age of 54, Mary suffered 2 strokes. In an instant, the caregiver became the patient. She lost her memory, her ability to walk, to talk. The very skills she had relied on to care for her children were suddenly stripped away. The woman who had been a pillar of strength for her family now found herself dependent on others, struggling to relearn the most basic functions. But here's where Mary's story takes a turn that speaks to the indomitable nature of the human spirit. As she fought to recover, to regain her speech and mobility, her son's cancer returned. The disease that had been held at bay for so long came roaring back with a vengeance. Mary, as still grappling with her own recovery, found herself once again thrust into the role of caregiver and advocate. This is the point in the story where many would break. The relentless onslaught of challenges, the cruel timing of it all. It would be understandable, even expected, for someone to give up in the face of such adversity. But Mary didn't. She couldn't, because for her, giving up was never an option. She pushed through her own recovery, driven by the knowledge that her son needed her now more than ever. And in doing so, she demonstrated a truth that we often forget in our darkest moments, that we are capable of far more than we believe, that strength can be found even when we feel we have nothing left to give. But life, in its infinite complexity, had one more devastating blow to deliver. On September 22nd, 2024, Mary's son lost his battle with cancer. The disease had spread throughout his body, filling his lungs, robbing him of the ability to breathe. Mary, who had fought alongside her son for so long, was there in his final moments, witnessing a pain that no parent should ever have to endure. The image of her son's last breaths, struggling for oxygen as cancer consumed his lungs, is one that Mary carries with her. It's a weight that threatens to crush her spirit, a memory that haunts her waking moments. And yet, even in the depths of her grief, Mary found a spark of resilience that refused to be extinguished. This is where many stories might end, with loss, with grief, with the overwhelming sense of what now? But Mary's story, like all great stories of human triumph, doesn't end there. It evolves, transforms, and ultimately inspires. In the aftermath of her son's passing, Mary fell into a deep depression. The grief was all consuming, threatening to swallow her whole. But somewhere in the darkness, she found a flicker of light, a reminder of the strength she had demonstrated time and time again throughout her life. Mary began to see herself as a phoenix, rising from the ashes of her past. She realized that her experiences, painful as they were, had given her a unique perspective on life, on struggle, on the human capacity for resilience. She began to understand that her story, her journey, could be a source of hope and inspiration for others facing their own battles. This realization marked the beginning of a new chapter in Mary's life. She started to share her story, to speak about living life without limits, even in the face of illness and loss. She found a passion for helping others who were battling illness, offering the kind of support and understanding that can only come from someone who has walked a similar path. Mary's journey teaches us several profound lessons. First, it reminds us of the incredible strength that lies within each of us. We are capable of enduring far more than we think possible, of finding reserves of courage and resilience we never knew we had. Mary's story is a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise again and again in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Secondly, Mary's experience highlights the critical importance of healthcare access and support for families dealing with chronic illness. The fact that Mary had to watch her son lose his battle, partly because Medicaid stopped covering some of his necessary treatments, is a stark reminder of the very real, very human cost of healthcare inequality. It's a call to action for all of us to advocate for a system that doesn't force parents to choose between their child's life and financial ruin. Lastly, and perhaps most powerfully, Mary's journey shows us the transformative power of vulnerability in sharing our stories. By opening up about her struggles, her pain, and her ongoing journey of healing, Mary has created a space for others to feel seen, understood, and less alone in their own battles. As I listened to Mary share her story, I was struck by the raw honesty in her voice, the way she didn't shy away from the darkest moments of her journey. There was no sugarcoating, no attempt to present a polished version of events. Instead, there was truth, painful, beautiful, powerful truth. This willingness to be vulnerable, to share the unvarnished reality of her experiences, is what makes Mary's story so impactful. It's a reminder that our struggles, our pain, our moments of despair, these are not things to be hidden away or ashamed of. They are part of what makes us human. And in sharing them, we create connections that can heal not just ourselves, but others as well. Mary's story challenges us to reframe how we view our own struggles. It asks us to consider, what if our hardest moments aren't just obstacles to overcome, but opportunities for growth? What if our pain isn't just something to endure, but a wellspring of empathy and understanding that can help others? These questions lead us to a powerful truth. Our struggles do not define us, but how we respond to them does. Mary could have let her experiences break her, could have retreated into bitterness and isolation. Instead, she chose to use her pain as a catalyst for growth, as a means of connecting with and helping others. This choice to rise, to share, to help is available to all of us. It doesn't require grand gestures or heroic acts. It starts with small steps, being honest about our struggles, reaching out to others in need, offering a listening ear or a helping hand. But Mary's story isn't just about personal resilience. It's a clarion call for change in our healthcare system and our society at large. The fact that a mother had to fight not just against her child's illness, but against a system that seemed designed to work against her is a damning indictment of our current healthcare model. We must ask ourselves, in a world of such abundance, how can we justify a system that forces parents to choose between their child's life and financial stability? How can we allow a situation where life-saving treatments are denied based on cost rather than need? These are not just policy questions, they are moral imperatives that demand our attention and action. Mary's experience highlights the urgent need for comprehensive healthcare reform. We need a system that recognizes the long-term nature of chronic illnesses, that doesn't abandon patients and their families when treatments become expensive or complicated. We need a system that values human life and well-being above profit margins and bureaucratic efficiencies. But beyond policy changes, Mary's story calls for a shift in how we, as a society, view and support those dealing with chronic illness and caregiving. It's a reminder that behind every medical statistic is a human story, a family struggling, a life forever altered. It challenges us to extend our empathy, to offer support not just in the immediate aftermath of a diagnosis, but in the long, often lonely journey that follows. As we reflect on Mary's journey, we're confronted with our own mortality, our own vulnerability. We're reminded that life can change in an instant, that none of us are immune to suffering. But rather than letting this realization paralyze us with fear, we can use it as a catalyst for change, both in our personal lives and in our broader society. And what if we approached each day with the same fierce determination that Mary showed in fighting for her son's life? What if we treated each interaction with the empathy and understanding that comes from knowing that everyone is fighting a battle we may know nothing about? How might our world change if we all committed to rising from our own ashes, whatever they may be, and using our experiences to light the way for others? Mary's story is not just about survival, it's about transformation. It's about taking the darkest moments of our lives and using them to create light for others. It's about recognizing that our struggles, painful as they may be, give us a unique perspective and ability to help others facing similar challenges. As we come to the end of this talk, I want to challenge each of you to consider your own story. What hardships have you faced? What lessons have you learned? And most importantly, how can you use your experiences to lift up others? Remember, vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the courage to be seen, truly seen, with all our flaws and fears and hopes. It's the strength to say, this is who I am, this is what I've been through, and I'm still here. Mary's journey from a young, overwhelmed single mother to a beacon of hope and resilience is a powerful reminder of the potential that lies within each of us. It's a call to embrace our own stories, to find strength in our struggles, and to use our experiences as a way to connect with and uplift others. As we go forward from this moment, let's carry with us the spirit of Mary Hoyle, the spirit of the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's remember that no matter how dark things may seem, there is always the possibility of rebirth, of transformation, of finding purpose even in our pain. I challenge you today to take action. Reach out to someone you know who's struggling. Share your own story of resilience. Advocate for better healthcare policies. Volunteer at organizations supporting families dealing with chronic illness. Every small act of kindness, every moment of vulnerability, every stand we take against injustice, these are the things that can transform our world. Let Mary's story be a catalyst for change in your life. Let it inspire you to face your own challenges with renewed courage. Let it motivate you to be a force for good in the lives of others. And let it remind you that within each of us lies the power to rise, to transform, and to make a difference. As you leave here today, ask yourself, what ashes am I rising from? What strength have I discovered in myself that I never knew I had? And most importantly, how can I use my story to light the way for others? Your story matters. Your struggles matter. Your resilience matters. And by sharing your truth, by being vulnerable and authentic, you have the power to change lives, including your own. So go forth from here with renewed purpose. Be the phoenix in your own life and in the lives of others. Rise from your ashes, spread your wings, and soar. The world is waiting for your light. Thank you.